And good morning. Okay, let's go ahead and start a new chapter in English. Now this chapter's probably going to be pretty easy for you. In fact, I almost decided to skip the chapter, but then again, I'm not real sure what you might be familiar with and what you might not be familiar with. So I thought we'd do it, but I think we're going to kind of take it a little bit more quickly. And depending on how you do throughout the chapter, if you do pretty well and you don't miss very much or anything, then we may not even take the test. So we'll just have to wait and see. All right. So if you would open your book to page 119 and 120. Now the theme of this chapter, it's chapter 7, it's study and reference skills. The theme is South America. Lots of information about South America, the history of South America, and lots of other things. But because we're doing heritage studies, I don't want to pour in another continent to you. I want to kind of focus on what we're focusing on in heritage studies. So we can just kind of look at the pictures and read the little tidbits of information about South America. So look at page 119 at the top. We're going to be talking about 4 parts of a book. Okay? Books have different parts to help you find information. They have a title page, has a copyright page, has a table of contents. I'm sorry, 3. I thought I said 4, but we have 4. The title page gives the name of the book, and there's a picture of a title page, Traveling in Brazil. See, it gives the title of the book, Traveling in Brazil. Gives the author down at the bottom, Vladimir Salazar. And then it gives the name of the company that published the book. I can't see it. My eyes don't work that well. And the city or cities where that was located. So that's what's given to you on the title page. It's most likely that you just don't ever even look at a title page because, to be frank with you, I don't either. All right. So then we have the copyright page that tells the year the book was published. Now I do look at that sometime because if it's older and it was published in an older time, I am more likely to read it than of the newer ones. So anyway, but I do look at the copyright page often to get the date on that. Then we have a table of contents. And right here in the middle of the page on the left hand side, it tells you in the table of contents what it is. It tells you the chapters of the book and what pages each one of those chapters begin on, so that you can quickly, I think I'm on chapter 4. Let's see what page chapter 4 is, and then you can turn to it. So it's real easy. And it tells you the names of the chapters too. Now there's 2 other parts. This is where I was getting 4 parts. There's an index and a glossary. So let's look here on the right hand side, kind of towards the bottom. There's an index and a glossary, both located at the back of a book. So the glossary is like a teeny tiny dictionary, and not every book has a glossary, but many of them do, especially if they're nonfiction books. And then you have an index, and in the index, a lot of people get index and table of contents confused. An index tells you where a particular subject is spoken of, or where a particular word is, what page you can find a particular term or a particular word on. The table of contents tells each chapter and what it's called and what page it starts on. So if you're looking for chapter 5, you're going to look in the table of contents so that you can see what page it starts on. Or if you'd like to find out where the book talks about the animals of South America, you'd want to look in the index and look up animals, and then it would take you to that. And then it tells you what pages. Oftentimes it'll give you sets of pages. Look at the very bottom of page 119 on the right hand side. It says the index, and it's pointing to this little thing. It says Amazon River, page 92. And Brasilia. Then it says 52 to 53, and then has a comma, 72 to 73. That means there's 2 sets of pages that Brasilia is talked about. So sometimes there's more than one set. Okay, so with all that being said, let's look then at the guided practice. So the top part, it's multiple choice. So where would you look to find the name of the author of a book? You would look on the title page, not the glossary that tells what words mean. The index says where to find a particular word, so you'd look on the title page. Number 2, where would you look to find the meaning of a word found in a book? I just said it. Glossary. You look in the glossary. It's like a kind of like a dictionary in a way. Number 3, where would you look to find the year a book was published? You'd look on the copyright page. Number 4, where would you look to find on which page chapter 3 begins? Table of contents. And number 5, where would you look in an English grammar book to find the page number for information about using commas? You'd look in the index. You'd look up commas in the index. All right. Now, right here on our page in the center, on the right-hand side, there's a box. It says Traveling in South America. Okay, that's the name of a book. And this is just a little part of the table of contents. So we're going to use this little table of contents, and then the blue box down in the bottom is part of the index from the same book. So we have a sample table of contents and a sample index. So let's look at number 6. Which chapter would probably tell you ways South Americans cook bananas? Which chapter might that be? Did you say chapter 4? Yes, chapter 4. That's right. So yes, chapter 4, delicious food to experience. So you'd choose chapter 4. Now I want you to look down on number 10. On which page would you find out how hot it gets in Manaus? Now, let's look over at the blue box. This is the index. So we're looking up particular words or phrases. We're going to be looking up Manaus. You see where it says Manaus? You can find out about Manaus on pages 3 to 5, but it says which page would you find out how hot it gets there? Well, if you look on page 3, it talks about the climate. Page 5 talks about the population, so most likely it would be page 3. Good. All right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 questions left. I'd like for you to pause this right quick. Answer those last 5 questions. Then if you'll turn it back on, I'll go over the answers and make sure that you got those right, okay? Then you won't have to turn it in, take a picture and turn it in. All right, go ahead and pause it. All right, are we ready? On number 7, it should be 46. Number 8, you should have gotten 14. Number 9 should be 1. Number 10 I did with you. Number 11 should be 15. And number 12 should be 2. Did you get that? I bet you got all those right. That was pretty easy. All right, so that'll be all your lesson for the day, and you don't have to turn anything in to me since we've already gone over it. Tomorrow we're going to look into the dictionary. That's all for today.